Now arriving at Lijiang Tower. Initiating match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Twitch.tv/ECAC Sports. I'm Michael Manning.
And I'm Louis. Mike's
Probably should have talked about that for
Yeah.
you're good. And we are here with a very exciting set. Our first match of playoffs for Overwatch 2 between Mounties and Waldorf University. We have Mounties on blue side, Waldorf on red. We're gonna be opening on Lijiang.
Yeah, that makes sense. You'd have to be invited first.
Similar to our matchup a couple weeks ago, you know, starting off immediately with this Symmetra TP.
I was just say, speaking of similar, three of the exact same lineup on both sides. I'm expecting, yeah, the Symmetra just to be for the TP ward. Yeah, Futhark switching off of it to go over to Pharah. Grasshopper on Odin. It's a bit more consistent damage, but
Good kill.
both teams immediately trying to stick him in that point before even unlock. Nice Steve. Futhark draws first blood, taking out Sin. The healer out like that nice and early. He's trying to go for the second one, but Slick can cover himself. Thrasher takes out Who's Kami. Slick is down. Only one healer on both sides. Gold was taking shot. Takes out budget.
Barely getting away.
Image to find Grasshopper. The objective does go to Waldorf. And the initial capture.
It was quite the confrontation, you know, in the beginning. A lot of close calls and then a couple of blunders from both sides. But ultimately, like you were saying, Waldorf is going to start the tick count. I am liking the picks from both teams despite the glossing similarities. But, you know, they're being very effective. They're not playing too overextended. They're playing very careful. And they're playing to their strength. As we see more players from the side of Mounties starting to get more picks off, they want that point back for themselves. And Tracio is going to need some help, especially now that he's ulting.
Yeah, Poppy Annihilation trying to find somebody. Already 2 members of Waldorf are down. Twitch.tv/ECAC Sports.
Yeah, they get some oh boy.
And I'm Louis.
Grasshopper did some work with that overcharge. Is to force Waldorf back. Thrash also got Gold Wisp. Just like that, point trades hands over to Mounties.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, the ult game was definitely really strong for Mounties right there. You know, they had a really nice ult from Grasshopper to try and flush out those targets. A lot of heavy damage. You know, you saw Thrasher get involved as well. Finish off a couple of those picks. And now they need to get ready for the next incursion.
There's the Graviton. Thrasher and Grasshopper both gonna pick up a kill. Doing anything to hold that point. Yep. It's like that. The longer they stalled, already 50% for Mounties. Although, how long they held it initially, Waldorf not far behind at all. It's just gotta be careful though. Oh, Thrasher's going for it. Nice bubble.
Goes big.
That's 2. Tracio falls as well. Gold Wisp pops the Coalescence. It's not gonna be enough. He's gonna manage. No, it's not gonna get out. 75% of that point for Mounties. Waldorf run out of time. That's a good start though. Awesome.
Definitely a way to claw their way back as they're running out of time though, but now
The dinks on both sides. Oh, that death ball supply from Kami managed to find Sin of Thrash, but with this, the Kitsune rush, Mounties just pouring out so much damage. A beautiful wipe.
all that aggression should be able to close out round 1. Yep. No way of getting back.
Yeah, that'll take map 1.
Score
Very nice start for Mounties. It's interesting.
Definitely, these teams have now gotten to know each other, and with that, you know, now we might see some counterplay. We might see some more developed strategies as to positioning. It's definitely important. You know, you saw Slick be very on point with the heals right there with Sin. And Budget Foon taking the initial engagement to try and start kick things off definitely helped. And then the combo from Thrasher and Grasshopper has been working immensely for them. So I just hope as the side switch comes here out, they can keep that momentum going.
Really Slick immediately getting a pick on Goldwist. Kiriko does so much damage. Thrasher finishes off Tracio. That's not a close call, but Mountie's pushing Waldorf so far back. It's gonna be an uncontested cap here at the start. That's a good way to open.
Oh, yeah, you're seeing Budget Foon give all that pressure right back to Tracio, especially now that she's super charged right now. Still putting a dent in this defensive lineup, and look at that, Tracio falls just like that.
Grasshopper, just enough charge to find the kill. They can have Futhark as well. Budget is doing such a good job keeping his backline covered.
Player on his left. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, Goldwist got caught. That getting a dagger like that is so rough, especially for your healer. Oh, Budget went for the rocket jump, got caught out. This is Waldorf's time here. They might be down a healer, but Mounties are down a tank.
That lack of protection is going to be big now that Tracio is getting very involved. Despite though. Death Blossom slowing it down.
I was gonna say Futhark managed to finish off Thrasher, but not before he can kill Kami. There's the overray pop from Sin. He finds Asa as Grasshopper takes out Goldwist. Mounties didn't execute fast enough. Or Waldorf didn't execute fast enough. Mounties had time to regroup. They just tear through them. 75% on this point. Waldorf needs to make some kind of play here. They've got a lot of resources about to come up. Mounties had to spend everything for that hold. It's now or never.
You don't want to try to put too much utility here because you still need to stem off for the full tick time.
Bunch gets ran over. Waldorf scrambling immediately onto that point. Thrasher managed to take out Kami. They do cap it. Coalescence from Goldwist. Ooh, can't save Asa. Thrasher's gonna get out. Slick takes out Goldwist as well. There's both healers down on Waldorf. There goes Futhark. That ult just gonna be insult to injury. Tracio's ult left. He pops the annihilation. He's gonna try and hold for as long as possible. And with no heals, just a matter of time. Roll out the individuals coming out to hold the line. Kami gets a nice Death Blossom off, managed to take out Grasshopper. This gets taken out by Budget.
Doing as much as
by Tracio.
evening it up ever so slightly to try and hang on. They still have the point despite the initial losses, but it's dangerous now since Grasshopper is coming in with the railgun, including Thrasher getting a big Death Blossom and taking out 2 players. Slick joining the fray. They got the point back. You need to be very careful.
Punch! Hold on, there goes Grasshopper. Here's him get a little bit of healing now.
Is it enough though to hold down for the rest of Waldorf?
Not with that orbital ray.
Oh.
And just like that, after a hell of a final fight, Mounties will take map 1. Yeah, Slick. You always hear about Kiriko doing a whole lot of damage. Slick was just getting pick after pick here. Popping that hyper-aggressive Kitsune rush even.
Yeah, you definitely see the value of Kiriko right here from this play of the game. You getting the cleanse, getting those 2 picks on the board, providing the speed and healing boost. It's just like great job from Slick and a very well done, excuse me, from Mounties to close out map number 1.
Absolutely. Now, I'm gonna make a soul read here. I don't think we get to see the pick bands. I think it happens. Okay, yeah, they're gonna hear. Before it happens, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be King's Row because it's always King's Row. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yep, I have.
It is. I have found a universal constant where 95% of the time we're going to King's Row, map 2, because folks just really like it.
Yeah, because like genuinely, you don't see a lot of popularity when it comes to the New York map. And is Jungertown an available hybrid map? No, that's a push map. That's a push map. That's a push.
Push.
That's a push map. My mistake. It's been a little bit of a while since I've played Overwatch, actually. But with King's Row, where can you go wrong? You have great choke spots. You have the initial checkpoints that kick everything off. So it's a lot of playmaking potential for both sides, honestly. And I don't think one side is really favored from the other, so it's just a really fun map to be playing on.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. My heart of hearts, I knew it.
Great call, Michael.
Everybody's got pattern recognition.
Should be able to get underway ever shortly. Yep, just quick side sweeps. Quick side switch. Mounties will be on your right, as long with Waldorf being on your left this time around. Try and simplify the viewing experience for everybody at home. Or this just looks like a Mountie scrim, Mounties against Mount. Nah, there we go. And it looks like we should be ready to go in just a couple seconds here. I will say, what I want to see from Waldorf is that they did have their initial stalls. Like, they had their moments of grace during that Lijiang map pick. But, what I want to see is a little bit more teamwork. You mainly just saw a couple players on their own trying to play make. But really, if they just come together a little bit more and they play off of each other's ultimates, and the util is a little bit more synergized, I feel like it should be able to force us to more maps here.
Kings initiating match.
Absolutely.
But here we go. King's Row, ladies and gentlemen. Scrim's Row, as our teams like to call it. Getting underway. As we said, a little bit of a side switch. Mounties is going to be on your right, a.k.a. defense first. And Waldorf is going to be on your left, a.k.a. attack first. Other way around, they're defending. Other way around. Waldorf will be defending, and Mounties will be attacking. Initial picks here. We're seeing Amalga, which I don't usually see as much when I'm able to cast Overwatch. I love the Sigma pick, the barrier along with the huge rock, just to try and deny those pushes.
Sigma is such a hype tank. There's so much skill expression on this character. There's so much balancing aggression and defense. And I've seen some absolutely insane. Have you seen John Jay's Sigma?
I think I have, yes.
John Jay didn't make it to playoffs, but oh my, absolutely cracked.
Yeah, the shield management and the aggression without having to overextend, it's really good. So we'll see how Tracio can pick it up.
Coming in. Oh my god!
Oh wow.
Let's going in. Trying to split Tracio's attention. That's how you deal with a Sigma.
Working quite a bit.
Ooh,
It's
Thrasher
a lot
fights
of
Goldwiz.
it's a lot of
Sin is
pressure.
down. Already heal it down. Budget soon to follow. There goes Tracio. Both tanks are down. Futhark takes out Thrasher. Kami takes out Grasshopper.
Still holding it down
Gonna
here.
hold.
Can I get away with it? Nice. Good double from Slick.
Yelling out. Budget sprinting immediately on the point. Mounties, they're not going to give him stuff yet. Tracio switching over to Diva. That's a tick for Mounties.
Ooh, they might be able to just force them out.
That double
Deep.
from Slick gave so much momentum. Budget is anti. Now's the time. Tracio takes out Grasshopper. Somebody's got touch. Tracio hops on point. Pushing him back. Kami takes out Sin.
It's good
Here we
plays,
go.
and just like that, Budget's gonna fall, giving a little bit of pressure back, and it's a team kill for Waldorf.
By one. Waldorf regain control. It is rough though. Already getting both those ticks, 66% of the point, just in Mountie's hands. Budget switching over to Zarya. We're seeing some crazy Zarya gameplay from him last round, so not at all surprised.
Ooh, very close.
The sniper's net. Ooh, there's the overcharge. Here's Kami takes out Budget. Futhark finds Grasshopper. Yeah, Waldorf's not willing to let go at this point yet.
Futhark's just going in.
And
He
there-
wants them all.
And they're gonna make sure Slick doesn't get to pull anything like last fight. Minute and a half left on this push.
It's definitely doable, but now Waldorf have the Nano and the Kiriko ult in pocket, along with the Diva Bomb.
Yeah, they were ready to go. Matthew's trying to take some high ground, gonna be going in from that upper area. Trying to go for the flank. Keeping an eye out. Reaper's on the way, immediately gonna dive down. Doesn't want to deal with that. Ooh, just this Diva Bomber's response to the orbital ray. That's super rough. No tank's gonna make this very hard. Yeah, no boost goes out on who's Kami. He doesn't have a death possibility. He's a lot of damage, but nobody to spend it on. Mounties are playing back. Despite that hold. I think it is gonna fall. Waldorf's gonna get pushed back. 3 minutes on the clock. Mounties push here. But start getting a mountain of value out of this Zarya switch.
You're definitely seeing Mounties start to come alive here. You know, after that Nano onto Husami, they were able to put just enough pressure for that Nano to be rendered useless. And as you can see, despite, you know, the cart being back towards the beginning, they're putting a lot of pressure here, and it's actually working out in their favor as Grasshopper goes big on 3, still looking for more though, and they've officially pushed Waldorf all the way back to the spawn.
If you got the momentum, much more efficient to just try and keep the defenders back. Look at that, already halfway to the checkpoint here. Seeing some more switches. Tracio moving over to Hazard. Oh no, Thrasher's waiting in the rafters. Goldwiz meant to take out Budget. There is the Death Blossom in the upper wings. Oh, Thrasher! Immediately getting flipped, immediately getting anti. Still goes for the Death Blossom. Tracio's gonna take him out. Looks down, Sid's down, and that's a wipe. Just
And an
under
important
2
one at
minutes.
that.
You know, that's a fight that Waldorf needed to dig their heels in a bit. Especially with Thrasher spending Death Blossom like that. That's a very nice swing for Waldorf.
And as long as Waldorf is able to keep it control, you know,
Rocket jump.
they definitely have the opportunity to stall Mounties for as long as possible. Since really they only have Coalescence in the pocket right now. And you'll see Fruitard starting to press the advantage right back despite the aggression.
That Shadow Step is crazy. Who's got me immediately gonna bail out? There is a lot of resources about to come up for Waldorf here. Sin almost had ulti there, switching over to Kiriko.
Uskami's looking for Thrasher's earlier play. Might even work out if they're not careful.
Tommy's there.
Oh
Look
boy!
up!
Wow, is able to get away.
There's the hazard ulti. It's gonna go out. It kills, but Waldorf's already down. Still to finish off Futhark. 20 seconds left.
Big Mountie's team killed them. I think Waldorf have one more fight left in them before this checkpoint.
I don't know. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be very close, but Tracy is gonna try it. There, shut it down.
Yep, there we go.
Immediate pick from Futhark. Both Snochers have that overcharge up. Gotta stay careful. Oh, that's two members of Waldorf down. He was trying to hold the line. Into the Graviton. Tracio is nanoed.
Somehow still alive.
Be
still
afraid
putting
of the
down
man
aggression.
shotgun.
Oh, he's got to be careful not to get too far off, though.
Oh, he's gonna burn out. Mounties will hit that checkpoint. A minute and a half added to the clock. Both teams spent a lot there. So importantly, Sin does have Kitsune Rush. That's a lot of momentum. Futhark switching over to Widow.
Yeah, the long angles and the very squishy characters, honestly, you know, might be able to get away with it if they play carefully.
With a timer like this, all it takes here is one good pick. I love how Tracio is using the spike wall for cover, giving his healers some time to fill him back up. Start keeping an eye out. He's gonna get out of there. Ulti's coming up. Ooh.
Big hits.
Big anti. Tracio's taking point. Gotta back up. Oh, down. Uzkami takes out Thrasher, but Budget's on a tear.
Going absolutely big in combo with Slick here. Slick also gets two. That's another team kill for the favor of Mounties.
Waldorf's gonna have to scramble here. They're looking for their chance. They're going in. Tracio's moving in. There's the rainfall. Ooh. Thrasher takes out Uzkami. Futhark being choked out. Thrasher just coming in with a death blossom. He has no health. Ooh.
Still getting stemmed off by Tracio, though.
Tracio. It up.
Might be able to hold it back. Or die for both of these teams here.
There's nobody on point.
Grasshopper's forced to move off, and they'll do it. They'll stop the push.
For what it's worth, with no time anyway, Waldorf does manage to start Mounties Regia all the way, but by a difference, I think, of a single meter. Yeah, a single meter. So hey, that could matter though.
That meter is what wins games right there.
I was gonna say that could be the difference maker.
Well, after a very thrilling round one, I wonder how the side swap, excuse me, is gonna work out in favor for these teams, because you saw a lot of aggressive plays coming out from both of them.
Better world is possible today.
No nonsense. We do this clean. Copy?
Okay. Tracio opening on the Winston. With how many Reapers have already been in these matches, that's very bold. There isn't a Reaper currently on Mountie's side, but he doesn't know that. Yeah, in a Life Weaver pipe.
But I am certain that
I think it's more just to aid the Winston in case get a little too aggressive. That pull is gonna be important, but it doesn't want to also deny the aggression of Tracio.
I was gonna say if Futhark switched over to like a Genji or a Tracer, we'd have like a hyper dive on Waldorf's side. Watch it on the Ramatra. Oh my gosh, Tracio going in. I see why now. Look at that damage. Sin and Grasshopper forced to back off. Thrasher does find Gold Wisp though. Thrasher trying to block off Tracio.
Ooh.
Beautiful wall. Yeah, I would say they might not have the Reaper, but May is a fantastic pick against this dive. Tracio's gonna stick it out though.
You don't want to give him too much just yet because the ability to push back has been working, but now that he's getting walled off, he's got to be extra careful.
Very careful. Futhark finds Grasshopper. Good start. Tracio's going in. Like still rolling around the bubble. Ooh, bunch it. Clay pitches him out of the air.
Hold thus far from Mounties.
Getting that pick. Thrasher's antied. Oh no, but Sin takes out Kami.
Sucked him right in the jaw.
Ooh, Tracio gets the nano, gets that heal up. Dark finds Thrasher. With the annihilation. But Budget's antied.
Ooh, still able to hold on ever so slightly though. Mind he falls to gold.
The damage has been done. Gold Wisp with a double. Asa waiting to see if Sin tries to make a break for it. And very swift take from Waldorf. 4.5 minutes on the clock. And plenty of time to push this. If they can show even a fraction of the aggression that Mounties had during their push, they'll be in a very nice spot. And Tracio's showing it, diving the back line, forcing Budget to scramble. Tommy's looking for some kind of flank. Tracio's moving in. That's the thing. Just splitting the team's attention. It's working out so well.
Exactly. And just like that, Tracio is able to capitalize and take out Thrasher, which was the main threat to this team comp anyway. So now, especially with Primal Rage on cooldown, he should be able to continue to press Mounties back towards the
And
spawn.
there it is. Thrasher switching over to the Reaper to deal with Tracio. He's had enough.
Yeah, he wants to stop them in the tracks as soon as possible, but Tracio's looking to get in there.
Grasshopper taking point with that overcharge.
Ooh. Very nice shot.
Dark is not allowed to leave. Here we go. The dynamic has shifted. A pivot. As Mounties push Waldorf as far back to their spot as they can. Tracio's taking some shots.
This Primal's gonna need to be really important, especially with the nano in the pocket.
That's so rough. Grasshopper finds a shot on Asa just as Tracio dives in. There's no salvaging that.
Ooh, that's a big team kill.
Yeah, that giving Mounties more time to stack their ultimates here. Almost full chambers loaded on both sides. Next fight's gonna be a rough one. 2 minutes left on the clock for Waldorf's push. Oh,
They
and here
have
we
the
go.
time, they just need the angle.
This is going in. Oh, the snipe with the right click. Also takes out Sin. Budget burns down Kami. Annihilation's doing work.
Oh,
Also
still
down.
getting two.
Sprinting
Might even
down
get a third.
with the movement. Budget manages to take him out. Both tanks are just running riot on the back line. Goldwiz finishes off Sleek with a 1v2. Budget trying to play around the point, trying to take out Goldwiz. Oh, Suzu, but Sin is here to back him up.
How is Budget still alive?
Despite a valiant push and a fantastic scramble by Mounties. I mean, that's Mounties control of the cart. A minute 20 left on the clock. Ooh, there's the overcharge!
Ooh,
Awesome
Primal
take on
Rage.
Thrasher. With Grasshopper here wasn't hit by the sound barrier. Budget's down. There goes Sin.
Rest of Mountie's finally starting to get pushed back now, and I don't think they'll be able to return in time, so they're just gonna have to set up for the next checkpoint.
That's the execution that Waldorf was looking for. Managed to find that path through. Now they got just over 2 minutes on a push. Ooh, that boop from Sin may have just saved Tracio. Got him just outside of Thrasher's range. Still, both DPS ults up on Mountie's side. Budget is going for it!
He wants it, and he wants it badly.
See Thrasher push back off. Managed to make it out. Ooh, Tracio gets antied. There's the overcharge pop from Grasshopper, but he's tagged.
It sounds like Hopper.
Good bird from Tracio. Oh, saving the jump. Forcing both healers on Mountie side back. Meanwhile, Budget is keeping hold of that point. The Annihilation burns down Goldwiz. Oh, but he's not getting any cover, man. Just to find it. Tracio gets caught. 25 left. Thrasher's looking for a flank here.
Little bit of a
The traditional Reaper greeting. Thrasher allows Kami to leave.
No, I don't think Thrasher's the happiest about it, especially with Death Blossom loaded. They need to be careful because they are very aware of his position.
Tracio with the late switch over to Malga. If that anti hit, that would have been.
Oh, there you go.
Goes for the Death Blossom. Immediately gets popped. But Kami and Tracio are both down. But just taking point. Forcing Waldorf back.
Oh.
Big sleep.
Nails it with the sleep dart.
Waldorf's about to have Nano. And they have Overcharge on Futhark. This could be massive, massive knock. There's a sound barrier. It's gonna fall fast. Bandage isn't gonna do much.
Futhark's still able to punch it right through with 3.
Can he find 4? He's looking for it. It's gonna get out.
We'll have to come down to the last fight as we've reached the 0-0 clock.
Switching over to the Zenyatta. Ooh, almost finds a pick on Austin. That would have been massive. Austin's got to play back. Budget popped the Annihilation. Looking for the back line. Looking for anybody he can get his hands on. He's gone. The cage fight. Tracio captured so many. Oh, he's barely hanging in there.
Just enough lifesteal to get away with it, and I think they got it. Yes!
That's enough.
Initiating match.
Welcome back, folks. That's our third map of the night. We're at the Coliseum. It is currently 1-1 between Waldorf and Mounties. Sides haven't switched, so Waldorf is still on blue. The Mounties on red.
As we enter the Coliseum map, now that it's push and both teams can get equally aggressive here, I think we're in for quite the show. We might even see double dive action go on.
Waldorf definitely showed that they can play it.
You're in it with me. You're in it for life.
Tracio bringing out the
Who knows what we'll find out.
Havoc. Hazard, damn it. Hazard, I apologize. But yes, bring out the Hazard, so that is going to show some aggression. I like our picks, I must say.
Look alive out
Ooh, Kami on the... Yo, Kami on the venture. I love that little free.
Excavation initiation.
Ooh,
He's
Kami
getting
takes
hit
shots,
hard, though.
I was gonna say. For the flank. Ooh, right into the Reaper. That's dangerous. Tracio hops into cover. Ooh, Sin finds Kami. They never expect the top rope. That's
Really
kick
cool,
that
yeah.
Tracio.
So pretty evened out.
Well done. Let's keep it up.
Budget finds Asa. They are pushing Waldorf back.
Oh yeah, Mounties is getting in there, and Tracio's just trying to stop, put a pause to even a little bit of this aggression, but they're just in his face, delivering so much damage, including Kami, who's also on the receiving end of quite a good amount of damage as Tracius begins to fall. Thrasher taking out Kami, and it's not looking great, and even Budget showing the kill feed now with 2 big picks onto the healers. And this is quite the push so far from Mounties.
Unrelenting. Already made it to that checkpoint. Halfway there.
Gaining the forward spawn this early is definitely a statement to be made.
Just continue rush from Slick. Anything to keep the pressure up. Tracio tries to switch to the Zarya and gets caught. Thrasher is down, but Grasshopper with the overcharge takes no Gold Whiz. But it takes out Kami. This is... Waldorf is hemorrhaging. They've got to do something to slow this down. Wow, the Graviton
that's
just to ensure
bullying.
the pick.
That's just bullying.
That's just tactical. If they can keep Waldorf staggered this entire time, Uthark with the flank has the overcharge, gonna pop it.
Oh wait,
Yoinks Grasshopper out of the air.
good
Budget
slow the
finds Kami
bleeding.
at the second. Ooh, Budget takes out Asa. Tracio
Oh, boy.
has the nano boost, but can't get a clean shot. Budget's keeping him back, but the bot. Budget is keeping them pushed back, but the bot has been apprehended.
Swipe from right under the noses of Mounties.
Might be the second to breathe that Waldorf needs. The Mounties are already regrouping.
The robot has come back to us as Thrasher getting Asa.
He has that Death Blossom. He's looking for a chance to use it as Grasshopper dinks Tracio. It's bad. Somebody's got a hold. Here
I don't
comes
think
Thrasher.
much can happen.
He wants to hit that Q button so bad.
He's waiting for it to stem as they get
Waiting for
closer. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, they can't. That's insane.
Oh my goodness.
Mounties with a devastating push. That is the fastest push game I have seen in this league.
As have I. I honestly can't believe what we just witnessed. Not the best highlight reel from Grasshopper, but you know, very good shots nonetheless. Great picks, and they he unfortunately had to fall there. But wow, what a map 3.
Really, that puts Mounties over Waldorf 2-1. Yeah, it looks like our fourth and potentially fun map of the night. Gonna be New Junk City.
Is that with the new mode, right? That's the
Flashpoint though.
yes.
I don't know if I'd call it a new mode anymore.
Well,
It's been out for quite a bit.
Flashpoint. Okay. I remember now. Well, that should be even great because now we have essentially multiple middle point matches now. And after what was a interesting Lijiang, we should even see a even more interesting New Junk here.
Absolutely. And a reminder, is this being game 1 of the playoffs? Both teams are facing elimination here, so Waldorf's back is to the wall.
Definitely no one wants to go home tonight. Both teams have been playing absolutely phenomenal. It's just Mounties showing big strength on that map number 3 as we head into map 4.
Here we go.
Big, wide open landscape for our team.
Oh yeah. Though you gotta stay flexible. Each flashpoint does have individual ranges, so especially this first one, it's always
Try something.
a bit closer. So your Tracio on the Ramatra budget once again after last time and after that performance in game 1. Not surprised to see that Zarya back at all. Just seeing consistent strong picks that we've seen from pretty much every member of this lineup on both sides.
Well, definitely. And I expect Lucio of Sin to be even stronger now.
Mountie's with the scramble. Wow! Thrasher finds a pick nice and early. Old Wisp is down. Thrasher's still on the flank. Then takes out Futhark as Asa finishes off budget.
Now that the flash point is open, still have remnants of both teams still left. But it looks like Mounties is going to start kicking it off with the first tick rate.
Yep, Mounties get initial capture. That first point. And it caps fast, but it will need to snag 3 of them to close this out.
Definitely going to be quite the fight. As trying to match the aggression here is Tracio, but he's just getting stimmed back and forth with all this damage being pelted in. Waldorf definitely trying to find an opening.
He's trying to step up. He does manage to take out budget. Futhark and Gold with are down. Oh my gosh, Asa's getting juggled. Finished off. Goes Kami, finishes off with Thrasher, but like takes out Tracio. There goes Kami. And I don't think they'll try, but Waldorf no, they're not gonna try. They don't have time to regroup. They are gonna spread wide, try and get to this next flashpoint first, depending on where it spawns.
With that though, still this pressure being put on by Mounties, despite having full control here. They do not want them to get any sort of lead on them, and as I say that, Mounties are graced with a very nearby flashpoint, being able to set it up very quickly.
Making great use of that Lucio. Just got me looking for a flank here as that falls. Oh no! Oh,
Might
still
do
up.
it.
Looking for it. Hold on.
There
it is.
Gets pooped though.
That coalescence keeping everybody stuck, but there's the annihilation. Down a barrier in response from Sin. Gonna keep Tracio back. Annihilation still burning, but it's gone. There's the orbital ray. Austin takes up Grasshopper. Oh my!
Budget's still alive.
Barely
As I say
does
that.
finish off. And the new cap is gonna go to Waldorf.
Yeah, they weren't fans of what happened on that first flashpoint, so breath of fresh air coming through them now.
Absolutely.
Hello there. Hello there.
Who will come out to now is Huskami. Still being spotted out, along with Slick.
They're fine too dark. Graviton doing work. Grasshopper collaterals. Kami and Gold Twist.
My goodness.
Finds Asa.
Despite that being Waldorf's positioning, especially with the Kitsune Rush, Mounties just brushed it aside.
Yeah, they not letting up at all. Just tearing through the defense. Thrasher really looking forward to using this Death Blossom. It's so funny. Like, I don't know if there's been a nuts Death Blossom either game, but man, every single Reaper, both Reapers win for it. And Thrasher! There it is! Oh my god, seeing that?
He might even get
Seeing
more
that
if he's careful.
From,
no.
okay, that was the most commentator's curse thing I've ever seen. Seeing Tracio walk right past, I felt the dread set in. Like, oh, you don't know. He's right behind that pillar.
Back team kills for the way of Mounties.
Hello there.
The
My
gift
goodness.
of prophecy.
With even after that incursion, they still have ults preloaded. They have the coalescence ready to go, and Grasshopper's railgun is almost fully charged.
Scramble Kami makes it on point. There's the coalescence from Slick. Ooh, that's 2 members of Waldorf down immediately. And there they go. Tracio managed to find budget, but there's no healers to keep him up. Just like that, second flashpoint.
Triple team kill for Mounties, and if I'm Waldorf, I'm definitely feeling the pressure now as we enter what could potentially be our last flashpoint.
Oh yeah, no, this flashpoint decides it. Ooh, Tracio getting a nice early pick on Thrasher. Grasshopper's low. Okay.
We'll go through with it.
Seeing another nice start to this flashpoint. The only issue
As if they're able to retain control.
I was gonna say they've got to keep it up.
We do have plenty of ults now to work with from Waldorf.
Oh, overcharge on both sides. Butcher finds 2. Uzkami responds with a massive Death Blossom.
Any type of slowdown is possible, but wait, Mounties is gonna secure it either way, though. Also still answering back.
Mounties take control. This is the thing. Waldorf has got to keep up the aggression. They cannot afford to let the Mounties get comfortable here. It's like finds 2. There's so much work on this Moira. They got 55%.
This gravitational pull could be dangerous, though, with the way they're closely knitted, and there it is.
The Graviton, Grasshopper takes out Kami. There's the Annihilation. This could be massive. That's 2.
Tracio's making them suffer as he has.
It's the point. Gonna burn down Slick. Once again, the Flashpoint swaps hands.
Ooh, good showing here from the side of Waldorf. They have the potential to finally take one under their belt. Still have to work against the clock and the overwhelming aggression. You do have the Death Blossom from Thrasher and the Sound Barrier from Sin on standby. So I'm assuming this should be the last fight for this Flashpoint. Gold Wisp kicking it off pretty well, along with Kami. Also gets one.
He's down though. 92%. It doesn't look like. Ooh, nice shot from Grasshopper. Nobody's close enough to contest.
I think they're too far, yeah.
Yeah, that Flashpoint will end up going to the Mounties. Oh, or to Waldorf though. Mounties will clean up afterward. It's gonna be an awkward stagger for Kami if he can't get out. That's rough.
Well, as they say, too little too late, because while they were fooling around with Kami over there, the rest of Waldorf has been able to make their way to the next Flashpoint. And now they might be able to catch them off, Mounties off guard here.
Pressure makes it out. Flashpoint's open. Blake pops the Coalescence, takes down Asa. Gold Wisp, though.
Wait,
oh my
still
god.
Putting aggression.
Yeah, 3 members of the Mounties are down. Thrash
looking so good.
Can't touch. That cap will go to Waldorf. Right there, refusing to give up yet. They're gonna need to keep this up.
They're doing well. They're doing well. They just need to keep the stagger, and they need to keep the ults that much spread out. Because now we're gonna have those 4 ults return once again, and here we go, double railgun ult coming out. Futhar goes big though. Getting aided by Gold Wisp here. Kami joining the fray as well with a nice double kill, getting the revenge. And I believe that was a good wipe from Waldorf, trying to stem it out. 70th percentile. Waldorf might be able to walk away with this Flashpoint as well, forcing it to the very last one. Scary now.
Gosh. Waldorf's holding on. Like, finds Asa. And they managed to hold it uncontested. Just like that. If the final Flashpoint's gonna open. Pushed back to the brink. Waldorf seemingly has found their second wind. If they could take this one, we'll be going to game 5.
I'm getting nervous here, Michael. I'm getting nervous. These two teams have been putting on quite the show on this Flashpoint. I just can't believe how it's gonna end.
Mountie's getting a nicer claim on it. Oh, the Graviton into the Death Blossom. A clean sweep. And there's the point.
That's also the inertia that Mounties might need to walk away with it.
They've just got to hold the line. Budget switching over to Ramatra as well. Getting a fantastic use out of that final grab.
You know, even with the combo, Mounties still have plenty of ults to keep the defense up.
Tracer's going in. Both support ults activated on Mountie side, Grasshopper takes out Asa. The annihilation from Tracio.
Oh, goes
Finds
big.
Grasshopper. Gotta make it back
Help
up
if you're gonna
point.
secure it though.
Trying to hold up. He's being kept up. Gold Wisp gets the coalescence. They're trying to hold. Using these installs. Oh no.
Tracer just getting bounced back and forth though is not good.
Fight's going for so long, but the whole time Mounties are just stacking capture rate. 90%. I don't think there's anybody on Waldorf to contest.
Unless
Gold Wisp might try. Asa's there.
Enough.
There's the overcharge pop from Futhark.
We need to go Tracio onto the Hammond.
Except Gold Wisp, but 3 members of Waldorf down. Quite a fantastic swing on those last 2 flashpoints. That's gonna decide it. 3-1 for the Mounties over Waldorf. A fantastic set.
Wow, wow, wow. What a flashpoint.
That is a hell of a way to start playoff. It's really snow stuff from both sides. Just Mounties mastering that aggression. I'm not gonna stop thinking about that push game. That was like 2.5 minutes. I don't know what they did during that break, but it woke something up. But alrighty, folks.
Wow.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you liked what you saw, make sure to follow us here on twitch.tv/ECAC Sports. You can also follow us on our socials, that same place. And if you liked what you saw tonight, make sure to tune in same time tomorrow for some League of Legends. And we'll be back next week with the second set of ECAC Overwatch playoffs. Anything you want to say to folks before we hop out, Lou?
No, I think they covered all the bases. Great job to Mounties to close it out right there. Great showing for both of our teams. Unfortunately, Waldorf is going to have to kick the bucket to the season so far. They did play wonderfully, though. Mounties just showed up a lot better. As Michael said, don't miss our other games that we broadcast here. Tomorrow's League of Legends. I'm not sure what the weekend beholds us, but we also have more.
The weekend will hold the final days of
Marvel Rivals,
ECAC's Marvel Rivals Open.
So definitely tune in for that. Monday will be our Rainbow Six, and Tuesday is usually our Valorant matches. So we've got plenty of games lined up for all of your entertainment. But with that being said,